YouTube, what's good? It's your boy. I'm back with, once again, another video. What's coming out with these things out here? Another one. And of course, joining me are the same two guys from the previous two videos. Got my kinfolk Will and my boy Jay. What is good, fellas?
What up?
I hope your viewers like
Dallas
us.
Stars.
What? Oh yeah, that's Cowboy. I hope your viewers like us because if they don't, they gonna hate all three of these videos.
Man, listen, I think out of you two and probably my boy B, I think y'all, it was Daryl for a little bit. I think y'all two and probably my boy B are probably the three main people who be on my videos the most, man.
We gotta get Daryl back in here, man. I enjoy having him on that.
Man, I be trying to get him on, man. He be having some things coming up, man.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be on with me for a video today, or yesterday. I don't know, I can't remember what one day. Matter of fact, I was just texting him a minute ago.
We need to get him in quarantine.
Yeah. So in this video, man, we're gonna talk about our favorite team ever, the Dallas Mavericks. There, guys know that he is led by all y'all know. You watching this video, y'all know who the star of the team is. It is Luka the Doncic. And for me, man, like we were saying in the last video towards the end, man, we got us one, fellas. We got us one. I was kind of, Dirk was a legend, but he was never considered one of the greatest in the league. He was never considered one of the best in the league. Whenever you had those conversations, it was always like a Kobe or Shaq or Tim Duncan or somebody like that. Never had Dirk in there. He's always considered a great. To me, I felt like he was he was above like a Paul Pierce. Like Paul Pierce,
of course,
like a Hall of Famer. But the reason why I say that, man, because I had an argument with this dude one time, man, and I guess I'm a Maverick homer, but I think he better than Garnett. You know what I mean? That can be debatable, I know. But the reason why I said that is because this guy had the same argument. He's like, Garnett got a ring. I said, yeah, he got a ring. But was he the guy when he got the ring? He was a third option on the team when he got the ring. Like, Dirk was the guy. Like, they weren't going to win without Dirk. You know what I mean? And so, that's not to take away from Garnett greatness because, I had these debates with my pops all the time. He's like a huge Garnett fan. I just feel like Dirk was one of those players, man. He wasn't appreciated until like after. You know what I mean? Everybody like, oh yeah, he was a legend. He's a legend. Like he didn't get that same type of love during,
Sure.
But I feel like with Luka, man, like a lot of people are kind of giving him his roses now. Like, bro, this dude here is something we never seen before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for him to do it in the way of the skills instead of being like a high flyer or a quick guy or whatever, he's doing it with pure skills, man. And which to me that translates into a longer career. Because everybody knows Dirk wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the highest jumper. None of that. He had he honed a craft and a skill to help him play in the league for 21 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Luka is on that same path. But let me ask y'all a question about this team, man. Do y'all feel confident after watching what we saw in the playoffs that this team? Yeah, I guess I could say this. Do y'all feel they're close? Maybe a couple pieces or a couple moves away, or do y'all feel like maybe they're like 5 or 6 years or whatever? Like, how do y'all feel about how they're going right now?
For me, it depends on what pieces they bring down.
Yeah.
So when the Greek Freak gets swept tomorrow, they can. If he comes to Dallas, then that's like 7 years.
I was gonna use that as another topic, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
No, you can.
Let's say no Greek Freak or other superstar. If we get 2 3D players, like mid to top 3D players,
yeah,
absolutely. But just because you need that dog, especially for the playoffs, and then if they can consistently hit that 3, because Maxey just appeared, and we had bad Timmy too often in the playoffs. So if you get those 3D players, yeah, because we saw Luka by himself basically take the Clippers to 6 games, and so if we can get KP to basically play half the season for all the playoffs,
Yeah.
I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good.
What you think, Jay?
So I want to be careful. And I want to make sure that series wasn't fool's gold. And the reason why I say that is because when Paul George was Paul George in that playoff heat, and when Kawhi had his stuff together, and they got contributions from guys like Andrew Shannon, role players who made shots, they blew us off the floor for the majority of the time that those guys were clicking. When we were close and winning games, playoff P was playing. And, guys weren't hitting shots. So I look at that series with cautious optimism because had Paul George been playing like Paul George for the whole series and we won 2 out of 6, I'd be like, okay, we're probably just one piece of it.
Right.
But when he was on, we weren't. And I get that KP wasn't there, which may be a separate discussion. Because I'm a little worried. And I hope
about KP.
Yeah, I hope that because at the beginning of the offseason, they were talking about KP had said that he was on a qualifying offer for a year, which would have been a lot cheaper. But they decided to get an extension. And I don't know if that was because KP decided he wanted an extension and didn't want to sign the EO, or I'm not sure what happened with that. But I remember at the beginning of the offseason when they were talking about, well, he could have technically played at the end of the season, but they decided to hold him off. There was discussion about him signing a qualifying offer, him being okay with signing an offer, which was like maybe I want to say it was like 13 million or something like that. Like it was a lot cheaper. And so I was hoping that he would do that, and then we get to see, okay, he'll come back after this year, we get a full year of them, and we'll get to see after that year, do we want to go ahead and extend him? But they extended him by him playing a game. And now they're saying that he may be able to rehab out surgery, which I would prefer, obviously, to have not have both knees cut up. So if he's able to go ahead and recover without the surgery, that's great. But 7'3" with knee issues now, both knees, is kind of worrisome. So I agree with Will from the extent of like if we can get some guys in there, 3 guys that can play, that's cool. But we need to have a contingency plan. And that contingency plan involves not just getting some mid-level guys, not just getting Marcus Morris or Jeremy Grant, but we need to be looking at the big fish that we tried to get, back in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, right? But the difference now is that we have a cornerstone piece that we can use to attract these folks to say, hey, you want to be able to get easier baskets to where you don't have to create your own shot all the time. You have an opportunity to do that here. And he's only 22, 23, 24, whatever we have the contract to do it.
Right.
So my goal would be to look a little bit higher because we have a better opportunity to get somebody that's like, a Giannis or whatever. I think Giannis, that's when Giannis going to Miami or Golden State or Toronto. But I'm fine with that. I don't want people to talk about Dallas now. I want Dallas staying on the real. But I feel like we need a bigger piece. And because if we get a third wheel or a three-headed monster, we're more difficult to beat. We're impossible to beat if everybody's clicking. But if KP goes down, the series is over. We still have that other person that can help and take the pressure off of Luka.
Joel
Embiid, exactly. So I think to answer your question, it depends on who we get to kind of be able to dictate the timeline. If we can only get a Paul Millsap or Jeremy Grant, somebody like that, then it's going to take a while. It's not going to be in 2 years. It's probably going to be 3, 4, or 5. But if we can get Giannis in a couple of years, that changes things. If we can get a JoJo in a couple of years, that changes things. A Devin Booker, like those are guys who come in to be like, all right, I'm gonna, I can be able to help propel the team to an elite level with KP. Without KP, we're still a valid contender. And I think that's what we need to do, and that's what we need to focus on. We need the other pieces as well. But if we don't get a top dog, I can't see us getting too far with, depending on both KP's needs to haul for 82 games plus whatever happens in the postseason. So you're looking at 100 games a year.
Yeah, I was. It's for us. I think we have two ways to kind of go with this. You can either try to go for the big fish, not free agent wise. We're not gonna have the money this year. We're not gonna have the money until 2001. I mean, 21. I'm sorry. Yeah. So if we do go with, like you said, if we try to get to that plan now, say you go after a like a Bradley Beal or somebody in a trade, do you want to go that route, or do you want to wait? Maybe get like a Jeremy Grant or somebody like that. That's more of a bargain, and they can fill a need. Because you put Jeremy Grant out there with Dorian Finney-Smith, bro. Man, you understand that the defense gonna look like it's gonna be length all over the place. And so, because I'm with y'all. Like, to me, like, this is no knock on KP, man. Not saying he can't be a number 2, but you can't stay healthy enough to be a number 2. And like you said, we get us a more consistent number 2 that'll move you to the 3. And then that may be less pressure off of you. Then you stay a little more healthier. You know what I mean? Like, you don't got to go out there and play, 31 minutes a game no more. He can cut it down about 27. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, about 27. And so, I guess that's the next thing, too, I'm going to ask y'all. Do you want to go for it now? Like, y'all want to try to go the trade route now? Or can y'all be patient and wait till 2021?
I can be
patient. Because the thing,
this team is ahead of the schedule.
Yeah, like never mind, I won't ask that question. We haven't won a championship. We only won 1, and we won that championship 9 years ago. It'll be 10 the next time we have an opportunity to do so. So it's like we've been patient.
Yeah.
And like we were like,
I guess,
5, 10 years, whatever. Like,
I guess the reason why I'm asking that, because it's just like with any other team. When you see that you have a player now, and at the caliber of Luka, expectations change. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, like, I just don't want people to be like, okay, Luka did what he did, this year, championship now next year. It's like, no, hold on.
But
we still need pieces. You still, like I said, we need dogs. Bro, let's just take your time. I know y'all want to get the big fish, but we're not going to have the money until 2021.
We can get the timeline for real quick. Sorry,
No, go ahead.
Those would be the people who just got on the bandwagon, right? Like they just saw Luka do what he did, and they just realized that Luka's a top caliber player, and they want to see him win.
Yeah.
If you've seen him, like we talked about in the last video, man, they were talking about, is DHJ gonna be a point guard, or is he gonna come off the bench, or is he gonna play 2, whatever. When we were trying to figure out how to make everything fit before they trade him in New York for KP, then you understand this has been a project, and you're just happy that it's ahead of schedule more so than saying like, all right, now we gotta win. Like, no, if I think it's gonna be them bandwagoners that are jumping on. It's like, why we not doing nothing? It's like, fam, if you've been here, you've been here. You know how the routine goes. This is not. If when Dirk first got here, obviously the trajectory is different. But when Dirk first got here, how long did it take him to really get his feet together?
Like 2-3 years.
Yeah, so it's always a process because these guys can go to college. Obviously, Luke was different because he played, pros since he was 14 or 16.
Yeah, like 14.
So he's kind of used to that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give you the right to speed of timeline though. I think we talked about before a couple of videos ago that I mentioned how like sometimes when things do go ahead of schedule, you have to kind of adjust your expectations based off of what you see now, even though you may have thought it was something different before. But it doesn't mean that you have to put pressure on them to win now. It's like we may have thought where we saw flashes that, hey, we might make the playoffs the next 2 or 3 years. But just because we made it this year doesn't mean that now it's like, all right, now we made it to the first round this year, we gotta make it to the second round next year, we gotta make it to the conference final next year. It's like, no, like it's a slow build. And on top of that, the teams around you in the West are
I just about to say the West still heavy, man.
So it's like it's not just us. So
yeah, cause look at the Thunder. Nobody thought Thunder were gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? And they in the West. So like yeah, like you said, we got all these other teams you got to compete with, man. And then like you were just saying, like I guess right now, I think I've been saying this for the longest, man. We live now in a time where I call it a microwave society now. Like everybody wants everything instant. Like when these kids come into the league at 19, you got to be Jordan right now. You know what I mean? It's like, wait, bro, he really supposed to be in college. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just graduated high school last year. Let's just wait, give him time to develop. He's not going to come in here and be Luka. Like I said, you said, Luka was, you know, a phenomenon because he played pros overseas or whatever since he's like 14. So that's a different circumstance. When you got these players that come in, you know, in the league, y'all, man, like I said, De'Aaron Fox, give him time to develop, man. He's very fast. Now you got to know how to stop and go, you know, change, shift speeds, when to go, when not to go, stuff like that. All he knows his whole life is go, 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 go. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's just stuff like that, bro. And like you said, like I've been a Mavs fan, bro, my whole entire life, bro. My whole life. I've seen the ebbs and flows. I've seen the ups. I've seen the downs. You know what I mean?
A lot of downs.
A lot of downs. You know what I mean? Remember in the 90s, we were like one of the worst franchises in sports.
Yeah.
And so for me, man, like I look at it like, okay, we have our corner piece. We know what this guy can do. He's been in a big moment. He shined. All that. We know what we got now. Now we need to look at it as, okay, like y'all said, what do we need around him? We know he need dogs. You need rebounders. I usually put the defense and the rebound and all that within the dog category. So you pretty much need dogs. And you need a player, bro. Like you said, you're gonna need a player that's gonna help take pressure off of not just Luka, but KP. So that way, if KP, like I said, if KP coming in and play like 60 games, you still got this other guy in here that can be consistent. We kind of was hoping and thinking that was gonna be Tim Hardaway, but I just don't feel like he's right there, bro. Like, listen, you'll be better getting your spot points in spots. You know what I mean? Not being the guy that, okay, we're going to count on you to be the guy. If you look at need help, you're going to be the guy. You're not that. You know what I mean? You're not that. Could be a bunch of games where like, okay, yeah, he got you 26. Then next game, he get you like 12. You know what I mean? We need that guy that we know. Like, we already know Luka finna step off the bus and give you 30, 10, and 10. That's a guarantee. You know what I mean? We need that. Now, I'm not saying get another guy that will give you 30, but get a guy that we know is going to be consistent in helping this guy. Like, okay, we know you're going to give us 30. What are you going to give us, Billy Bob Thornton or whoever? You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're going to give us consistent 15 every night. We know you're going to give us 15. Cool. 26 here, 8 here. Don't show up this game. Yeah, I might give you 15 this one. Like, we need somebody consistent. That way it takes pressure off of not only Luka, but KP too.
And here's the thing too, real quick. We haven't talked about Luka's durability yet.
Yeah. I was about to say his ankles.
And the fact that Rick couldn't take him off the floor in that series.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he was playing on one foot.
And that has a lot to do with just not having another guy.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to be really careful with how much we're using him.
Yeah.
Because he's already played professional ball for 6 years before he got here?
So really,
he got here.
Well, like
so he's really in like
seventh
year.
Yeah.
So it's like in European ball, it's more aggressive from what we understand.
Yeah.
They do a little more stuff than here. So we got to be really careful with assuming that just because he's 21 that he can go out there and play 46 minutes.
Yeah.
When we can't. So I think it's important that we don't just kind of rest on, well, we overachieved this year and we made this games in the first round. Like, this is a good team. And like, no, bro, we got to get to work because, and that doesn't mean that we're rushing or rushing the timeline, but it's just, we got to do what we can to take some of the pressure off this team.
Right.
Because what's going to end up happening, I'm not going to say what's going to end up happening. What could end up happening is if this kind of thing continues, he may be like, I need to go somewhere where I can get some help. Because if y'all are running me into the ground, I'm playing 42 minutes a game, and we're only winning 45 games a year, making the 60 because there's nobody else really helping me out. And then we get to playoffs, I'm gassed. I can go play over here with X and Y, and they'll be able to give me some help. And I can play 35 minutes a game instead of playing 45 minutes. So I know Mark Cuban said that he'll leave his line before he lets Luka leave, but bro, you can't make Luka's mind up for him. Like if you don't do the requisite things to keep him satisfied and give him what he needs, if he left, Luka would really be mad at him, right?
Yeah.
So they gotta help that man. Like we can't just assume that he's gonna be able to do that forever.
The thing
He got to about the ankles. He can't win no more tops ever.
The thing I like about Mark Cuban too is like like you said in that podcast, right? He said in the podcast, like I like how he understands what he has, and he understands like, yo, we have to. Cause matter of fact, Mark Cuban was one of the first owners to kind of like, I think somebody asked him about how like all these players are moving around and all this old stuff, and he was saying, look, it's our job, as front office execs and stuff, to put these people in the best position, put better players around them, all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like he understands it. And he said, if that person leaves, that's on us. It's not on them. It's on us. We could have did a better job. And so that's why I kind of like how he understands that, man. And I trust him, man. You know what I mean? I trust the front office. I think that they'll do a good job to put him. Because like I said, I didn't think this team they had right here was going to be good enough. You know what I mean?
They're not. Like I was like, if we saw that they were like when KP went down, like. I love Maxi, but boy, he just
No, wait, before you say anything, I was gonna lead to that. Let me ask y'all, man. Who do y'all think is not coming back next year?
Ooh.
I can probably tell you.
All right.
Yeah, we'll know. Tell me what I'm gonna say first.
All right.
He gotta go.
Yeah. I told y'all the other day. I said, bro, the line and Justin are gone, bro.
They gotta be.
They're gonna put them in the package together.
I like Justin Jackson a lot, bro. When he first came, I thought there was potential not for him to be like a star, but
no.
To be like a kick, like a contributor. Like
I thought he was gonna be a 3-2 guy. I thought he was gonna be a 3-2. He got the length, you know what I mean? He got the jump shot.
He lost it.
Yeah,
he lost it. I don't know what happened, but he lost it.
Come here. At one point, he had that floater. Oh, go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just doing the count. Justin, DeLon, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, JJ gone, man.
Yeah, I'm indifferent about that.
Burke is back.
Yeah, I think they bring it back.
Kylie Stein.
They gotta bring him back.
Nah, he has a player option, so he's gonna probably sign that player option unless somebody call him and say, "Yo, we give you this 10 instead of that 7." I think we owe him. We gonna give him 7 if he come back.
I hope so, man. I like him a lot. To come off the bench.
Yeah.
Because now you get Powell back, and he lets KP go back to the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get Kylie Stein from off the bench with Maxey.
You know what though?
You're not losing size.
Tell you the truth, I don't think they want to move KP back to the 4.
They need to.
I think they like him at the 5 because his numbers stuff was increasing with the 5.
I get it, but
defense, everything.
Yeah, but so then what happened? Right?
Oh, you talking about with the health and everything?
No, but I'm just saying, like, logically, when Powell comes back, right?
That's what I was wondering too.
Or what are we doing? So because to me that means they're not going to keep Kylie Stein. I think that's a horrible idea. So for me, it's like, okay, what are we doing? Are we? Because I don't like. I get KP at the 5 because he balled, at least in the bubble he balled. But are we going to really stick with Dorian Finney-Smith at 4? Like, are we going to do that? Can we move him back to the 3 and have? I don't know.
What you gonna say, Josh?
I think for Powell and KP, I don't think that they'll have a defined position anymore. They're just being on the court.
Yeah.
I think they just be out there. The two of them just be out there, and it won't be defined. Just because they can, you see that KP at the 5 ball, but you want him and Powell out there together for the pick and roll.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing is it won't be defined. I think they just end up having them out there, and then just so that you can have Finney back at the 3.
I
Yeah,
hope so. Because I think I don't know, man.
because Powell's
I get it.
not Powell. KP's numbers. They said when he moved, as soon as he moved to the 5,
Oh, he jumped.
yeah, it jumped.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about across the board. His threes,
Yeah.
his field goal percentage, his points, his rebounds, his shot blocking, his defense in general just shot up. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm like, I forgot about Powell. It's like when he come back, what do you do? Because now you're gonna have KP, you're gonna have Maxey, you're gonna have Willie Cauley-Stein, and you're gonna have Boban. So that's 4 guys
Boban
right
signed a
there.
1-year deal, so
No, he signed a 2.
Oh,
He signed
did
a 2. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why whenever you heard him talking about free agents, like he's not one of them. He's gonna be he's already signed. I think he's gonna play like 3 years or something, like $3 million.
Okay, well then that means they're not. What contract are coming back? If it's a player option, then maybe.
Yeah, it's a player option. Like it's up to him. Like him and Hardaway got player option. Like if Hardaway comes back, he decided
Hardaway
to
signed
go.
his player option.
Yeah, he signed his.
After that series, he signed his player option.
Yeah, he signed it. He getting paid 18, and then Willie Cauley was coming back for 7. And like I said, I
Hope he signs it.
I think, bro, for a fact, I think Dallas gonna try to move DeLon Wright. I think he wants to get moved. Yeah, I think he wants to move too. So we didn't really give him a number 2 second round picks. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing. I'm not really crying over those second round picks or anything. And we really didn't pay him a lot. I think we were getting paid like $8 million or something like that for like.
I know it was 3 deals.
3 years, something. Yes. Oh yeah, you're right. What, like $9 million or something?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So you were not getting paid nothing, bro. You throw that him in there, maybe Justin Jackson with the that 18th pick and maybe the Golden State Warriors 31st pick.
Yeah.
And Dwight Powell.
So who you getting? For me to give up the White, I gotta get somebody nice.
So my question is, what does Dwight Powell open to the rest of the league?
Contract. He got a good contract.
But like, yeah. So, but if you're trading him for a contract, you're not really giving up a ton, right? Like,
yeah.
For player wise,
yeah.
I think he reminds me of what's my guy name with North Carolina that came here?
Oh, Brandon Wright.
Yeah, he reminds me of Brandon Wright a lot. Brandon Wright left here, nobody ever he fell off the face of him, but he fit in what Rick wanted.
Right.
And when Dwight Powell was in Boston, he didn't play. So I think Rick has this little niche for middle level talent bigs that he can maximize their potential in his system. When they go somewhere else, they don't flourish. And so I don't know what you get back for him, but I'm looking at other bigs because if you have KP, Willie Cauley-Stein, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell, Bobby, you got 5 bigs in a league where people are stretching the floor. Like, do you need 5 bigs? The Tyson Chandler will play all year in Houston. Like, because they don't. I mean, I'm not Houston's like an extreme example. I'm saying like
no.
There's not a lot of teams who rotate 5 bigs in the rotation.
Because it's funny you said that. I was listening to something yesterday, I believe, and they were talking about that with Rudy Gobert. Because I'm still hearing Rudy Gobert, the Dallas rumors out there, and I'm just like, on paper and by name, you're thinking, oh yeah, keep Rudy Gobert in here. But like you just said, they're stretching the floor now. That type of center is not popular anymore. In fact, look, God gave a perfect example. Look at Andre Drummond, a perennial all-star. You know, walking double can get you 15 rebounds and sleep. Nobody wants him. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, that type of center doesn't play anymore. That's why I feel like I think Dallas really wants to try to keep KP at the 5 because he's pretty much a center, but can do the things that thank you. Can do the stuff that the new guys can do nowadays, which is stretch. You know what I mean? And so, like you said, that means okay, let's take KP out. That means you're gonna have the Dwight Powell, and then Maxey too. So you're gonna have 3 centers on your floor on your team that can't stretch the floor. Because Willie Cauley and Dwight Powell are pretty much rim runners.
Right.
Boban is just a paint clogger. He's not really, he's not really known for being a rim roller or a 3-point shooter or anything like that. He's just a paint clogger. He's just somebody that adds size, all that type of stuff. But like I said, with that, like you have three of those guys. Well, you know what? Maybe they use Willie Cauley Stein to trade. That's $7 million right there. It's a expiring contract and it's very cheap.
Yeah.
Throw him in a trade too. You know what I mean? Like put like him, Justin Jackson, DeLon Wright, and maybe that Golden State pick or something, man. You could probably get something from that. Maybe a Jeremy Grant. Maybe do like a sign and trade with Jeremy Grant. You know, because what you want to do, man, you want to capitalize now on Luka with that little baby contract he got. But y'all know Luka finna get paid, bro. Y'all know he finna get paid. Especially like I don't know how it works as far as the Supermax off your rookie deal. Like I don't think he would get a Supermax off the bat. You see what I'm saying? So. He finna get first team.
Yeah,
he finna get first team.
I don't think he can get a Supermax off the first.
I was wondering that because I don't know how that works. I know like you had to be in the league like 10 years, right?
Yeah, I think that works because I think even the extension, like the first extension, was like capped at a certain number. Like,
you're right. I was trying.
So I think we're safe.
Okay.
For 6 years of it.
Yeah, because I was sitting there thinking like, did he qualify for the? So he'll be qualified on this next contract for the. Was it within a certain year? Certain.
I want to say it's after like 7 years. Something like that. I think you got to be in the league for 7. There is a number.
Yeah.
That you have to hit, and it's not after the first contract.
Okay. I think it's going to be your third contract. Do it. Okay. I was wondering.
Steph just got qualified for the past 2 years ago.
And Kawhi did too. How long Kawhi been in the league? I mean, he qualified this year. Remember?
Yeah. It has to be right around 7.
No, I'm sorry. He qualified 2 years ago. Remember, that's why they were saying that he should stay with the Spurs.
Because he get Supermax.
Yeah, he could have got the Supermax. So then he got traded to Toronto, and it's like, he lost the Supermax or whatever. And so what was that? That was like his 9th year, 8th year, something like that.
Yeah, right around there.
I think he came around 20.
He 12, wasn't
he? Was it 12 or 13?
I think it was.
Maybe it was 12. I think it was 12.
It was 12.
So that would have been 6 years then.
So 6 years?
Maybe going into your 7th year. Yeah. Somewhere in there. There is a specific time frame.
Yeah. But I forgot what my
point was. It ain't going to be Luka in 2 years.
Okay, yeah. That's why I was trying to wonder. But yeah, so my point was they, now you have Luka on this very friendly contract. I think the only max contract y'all have is KP.
Yeah.
Take advantage. Like I said, you have every team friendly contracts. You got an 18 pick, and then you got that Golden State 31st pick, which is pretty much a low first round pick.
Right.
And so kind of use that to package to get something in here or whatever. You know what I mean? And try to, like I said, I'm not saying go for it next year. I know a lot of fans are like, "Oh, go for it next year. Go for it next year." Not understanding how the cap and all that stuff works. Like, bro, we don't have the money this year, and that's the reason why Donnie signed these guys to cap friendly contracts, is so that if there's an opportunity out there, we have these team friendlies and we got a couple draft picks. Put all that together, you can get somebody. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody that's not gonna strap us for 2021.
Right.
That way we can go for a Giannis or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask y'all this: like realistically, between it could be this year or next year, who do y'all want to try to go after realistically?
Joel. I think he's the only.
I wonder what you got to give up for him, though. That's the only thing.
Well, his contract only has 2 more years.
Oh, really?
As in like the year after Giannis, or
no, for Joel.
I'm saying like because Giannis is up in a year.
Yeah, in a year.
So is JoJo up after the year after Giannis?
Yeah, I think so. So I mean, if we had the chance to go get Giannis, I'm just not sure if we'll be able to get him. That's why I would rather go after Joel.
Okay, but see the thing about that, what are you giving up for Joel? You see what I'm saying?
I think have enough
ammo in the barrel right now, bro.
But I think he's gonna fail next year again in the playoffs. And at that point, they're going to want to separate him and Ben Simmons. And that's going to be an opportunity to scoop him up.
Because I think also too, I forgot to mention we have the trade exception too. I think it's like 9.3.
Do we still have that?
Yeah, we still got it. I think they said we have to use it coming up this offseason or we lose it.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if they lost it or not.
Yeah, it's like 9.3 or something. Matter of fact, I think it was on All Things Mavs, the one that mentioned it. It was like, yeah, they have to use it. It's like
they better use it because I've been mad. I've been mad they sent on that thing. I'm like, bro, just use it.
Yeah, they have to use it this offseason or we out of there. You know what I mean? I think we had 2 years.
What they said there?
It's pretty much like a like. Think of it as like, okay, you've been buy a burger, but you don't have enough money, but you have this coupon that's gonna help shave off some of that money to get that burger. It's kind of like that.
Because you're essentially your salaries have to match.
Yeah.
For what you're trading, right?
Yeah.
So
you have a $9
helps you fill the gap. So if there's $35 million on this side, but you only have $28 million on your side, if you have a $7 million trade exception, you could add that to the 28 to make it an even trade.
Yeah.
And they got that.
I forgot about that.
I think they got that during the Harrison Barnes trade, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
they had another one too. I think we had two. Remember, I think we had one that I think was like worth like 17 at one point.
I think we lost one.
I think we did too.
Because I remember there was some discussion about trying to use it before they lose it, and there was like a scenario where they were trying to like trade for Paul Millsap in Denver and use trade exception for that. Like I think they lost one.
I think they did too. I could have sworn we had like 17 million. Remember, I think we had like two of them. It was like 17 combined.
Yeah, I think we lost one.
Yeah, I think we lost one too. You have a certain amount of time to use that, man.
Yeah. So, I don't know how you gonna use that.
Yeah, we got 9. It's like 9.3 right now, bro. Like I said, we got a lot of team friendly contracts with the draft with 2 draft picks and that trade exception, bro. I feel like Dynamo can do something, but like I said, I think they're sitting on the fact that like, okay, do we try to build, now, which might hinder our cap for 2021? I think right now we have a max, but not like a full max.
Yeah, it'll be a max. It'll be full max next year.
I think it's like 30 million or something like that.
Can I tell you what I want? Can I tell you what I want?
What do you want?
I want us to my dream scenario is to get Jeremy Grant this offseason.
But that's the only thing. Like, how much is that?
I would say, like, I'm not spending for him. I'm not spending no more than like $9 million, because he's not like on the fringe of being an all-star. Like he's a key contributor that serves a purpose here that I think would be viable. Now, of course, someone's going to offer him more because there's always a Charlotte or a Wizards or somebody like that. But do you want to win or do you want to get paid? That's up to him to decide, right? So
right.
There's that.
You'll get way more playing time here compared to in Denver.
Way more, right? So that's my dream scenario now. And then next year, I want us to trade for Devin Booker and use that cap because he has a supermax. So or a max.
Max. Yeah.
He has max. So use that max to pay for his contract. He's 23 years old. So
okay, you gotta be thinking 22. Now. Yeah,
Luke will be 22. He'll be 24. KP will be 26. And that solves the problem of what happens if KP goes down, right? Because
Jesus Christ, what?
Booker's a walking bucket. He can get you 30 a night,
brother.
And imagine him not having to be the main ball handler, just being able to come off screens or not even having a real and you get to rest Luka more because now you can have him be the facilitator, and while Luka's on the bench, stagger the minutes in a way that Luka's able to get a long rest in the second quarter or early in the fourth, and kind of turn off from that perspective instead of having them play the whole first quarter and then off for 3 minutes in the second quarter and back. Like you get to rest him more. he plays 38 minutes a night instead of 45 minutes. So
the only thing about that one is, like, I would, man, listen. You give me Devin Booker and Luka, then that's gonna be stupid, man.
it's a wrap for several years.
Two things about that. Devin's gonna want to have to get traded. That's one.
Yeah.
And are we gonna have, like I said to the Josh, are we gonna have enough ammo to get him at that time?
So,
you know what I'm saying? Because like if Paul George commanded 5 first-round picks.
Well, that was a stupid trade, right? Like that's
we know that now.
You're gonna look at that trade, and that's gonna be the worst trade in history. Like honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. And I think we have one more pick to go to the Knicks.
I think.
Or the 2 more.
I think it's 22 is going.
And we may have one. We may have 2.
24 too.
Yeah, I think we may have 2 more. And you can't trade consecutive picks.
Yeah. Now, okay, so what I'm hearing, like, okay, if we trade, we can't give them the trade right now. You have to be. I forgot the guy explained it. I think it was Skin was explaining it because I think somebody threw a scenario like, oh yeah, we'll give him our 20 pick and whatever. And I think the guy was like, I thought we couldn't do, like you said, the back to back or whatever. Because we already gave up the 22 or whatever. And he was saying it's the way he explained it. I don't remember. I wish I can find that video, bro.
You can swap, but you can't trade consecutive. And that's why we have our pick down for 2020 because we couldn't be like, all right, we'll give you this pick. You have to do every other. And you can't, like, if we keep 2020 and 2022, we can't then trade those. Like, we have to keep them because you can't go consecutive years with our first round pick. So I don't know. And I'm not, like, I get that it's, you gotta, I don't know what you put together for. And I think you have to do a multiple team trade.
Because you know what? You're the only person I heard say that, bro. I've been hearing a lot of people. All of a sudden, out the blue, I'm hearing people like trying to say, Dallas should get Booker. Dallas should get Booker. I'm like, listen.
Because what I'm hoping is that he gets tired of losing, right?
Yeah.
And he gets, people have the spotlight on him now because they saw him in the bubble and they're like, yo, that dude can play. He should. Draymond Green on 10 hours, like, he should be playing for somebody else. He's gonna find him. But like people are looking at him and saying, this dude deserves to be on the main stage.
Yeah, that dude.
And if enough people hear that around him, he might be like, man, I can't stay here. And
yeah, we got 5 minutes, y'all. My bad.
But
yeah,
I also wonder, would you put KP in that package?
Right. That was when you said that. That was the only thing I could think of. Was you might have to throw KP in it for that to work.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the memories.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got 3 years younger and a walking bucket.
Yeah,
you got to go. And to a certain degree, you could argue that you're putting yourself in the same position if you do that, but I would say you're not because he's not injury prone. True. And he's also not playing in a position where you have a lot of wear and tear, right. Especially if you take him off the ball. I just feel like there's a lot more.
Remember, his numbers went up.
I'd rather pay, yes.
Yeah, when he took him off the ball.
I'd rather pay him $35 million a year.
Yeah.
So if that's my answer, then that means if it means getting rid of KP, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Damn.
Yeah. Of course, if they can find a way to, and Don is great.
KP can come back in a couple of years once the contract ends.
For cheaper. For cheaper.
Oh,
it's gonna have to be cheaper because by the time KP's contract ends, Luke gonna be eligible for Supermax probably. So it's like, you want to take that mid-level exception?
Okay.
So my answer is Devin Booker. I would love to have Devin Booker, but if I'm being realistic, Bradley Beal's like a great value. Devin Booker in a way. Not that he's not as good, but he's older. So because he's older, I look at him as like not on the same level. He's like, are you 30? He's gotta be 30.
No, he's 28.
Is he really?
Yeah, 28.
him and John Wall are too good of friends for him to leave right now.
Yeah, best friend.
You got to put a wedge in there.
Separate the smile.
All right.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. I just think we gotta be careful with KP, man. As that's not. If there's one thing I want to be taken away from this video, it's have a cautious optimism about KP.
Okay, I will now because now y'all got me thinking. If I had to choose between him and Devin Booker, man, that's
Bye.
damn KP.
And I love KP. I love
KP.
the way when KP is on, he is on.
Yeah.
Boy, is he on the ground.
Listen for y'all watching. The only thing about KP is a health. That's it. We're not questioning skills, talent, none of that. The dude's a monster when he's on the court. It's just his health. That's the only thing. But you tell him at man, I'm just imagining Luka and that wouldn't even be fair. Man. God, that wouldn't even be fair, man. Well, Luka would be playing 20 minutes a game, bro, with that
bro,
man.
And still putting up a triple double.
Yes. But yo, we got a few more couple minutes, y'all. I want to thank y'all. Man, went by kind of fast too. I want to thank y'all for hopping on. So for y'all listening and watching, please like and subscribe to the channel. It will help me out a lot. And also hit that notification bell for when I drop more videos, you guys know they coming. And with that being said, I got my boy Jay, my kinfolk Will. Benny, I know you back there. And yeah, out.
Appreciate you guys.